The birds remember what we have forgotten, that the world is meant to be celebrated. That's beautiful, isn't it? I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a lovely way of thinking about it. Because, yeah, we could kind of go, yeah, the world is to be celebrated. And in one way that is true, but then it can be hard, can't it? I mean, if you're tromping around in nature like I am, that's easy, isn't it? It's easy to kind of say, well, this is fantastic, isn't it? That's why people go on holidays, to get out into nature and to, you know, just really enjoy it. That's kind of easy. But then, what about poverty? What about war? What about cruelty? What about all the awful things that go on? What are we supposed to do about them? They're not so easy to celebrate. It's much easier to kind of be selective and kind of go, yeah, I think I'm only going to celebrate the things I like, the nice things, the fluffy things, the things I understand, the things I can relate to. And I'm going to make everything else wrong. And you could go, well, it is wrong, isn't it? Like cruelty, violence, they're all wrong, aren't they? And yes, in a way, but then if you really kind of come into that, what we're in is a place of opposites, of duality, and that the mystery is beyond that. And that's not to kind of spiritual bypass it and go, oh, it doesn't exist, or it's not real. It's very real. But it's to not, as soon as you make something wrong, or as soon as you make something right, you make the other thing wrong, when you can kind of see the totality of it all, and to do what your heart moves you towards, you'll generally find it moves you towards loveliness and kindness and sweetness, and because that's your nature, that's who you are on the inside, that's who we all are. And if you can kind of sit into that and let go of all the rights and the wrongs and the black and whites and the up and the down and all of that, and kind of go, that's all part of it. Now let me go beyond that. Let me go deeper. Let me go into the deeper reality behind that. Let me sit there and see it all for what it is. This play of good and evil and right and wrong and light and dark. Let me celebrate the whole thing. Let me celebrate the craziness of it all, the melodramaticness of it all. We kind of have a sense of this anyway, because, what do we watch for entertainment? We watch drama. We don't. The reason the story ends at happily ever after is because we're not that interested in happily ever after. We want the drama. We want the conflict. We want the having to get over the odds and all that kind of thing. That's what we want. And it's kind of the same with existence and our lives. We can kind of go, we can celebrate the drama of it all and the majesty of it all, which is not to take away from it, take away from your own, like your heartbreak and when things don't go the way you want and all of that and how difficult it is. But there is a way of kind of being okay with it, being okay with it because you kind of understand how it fits together and how it all disappears every night anyway, and it doesn't bother us. We think it's going to bother us. When we think about death and no longer being here, we think that's a new thing. That'll be a new experience, and maybe it will be. I haven't died that I can remember, so I don't know. But the idea of like the worst kind of possible scenario, where it all just ends and there is no more of anything. We do that every night. And the only reason it doesn't bother us is because we have this kind of idea that, well, I'll be back in the morning. I'm not going for good, I'm just going for a little rest. That's what we think. That's what we think is happening, and that's what helps us, not clutch onto the bed sheets going, I can't go to sleep, I can't let it all go. We're okay with it all. So it's easy to kind of, you think about the birds and you go, oh, let me celebrate like the birds. Let me get up in the morning and sing about all the great stuff. But there's that's inherently, or built into that, it's problematic, because it means that you're not celebrating the whole of it, the totality of existence, of this amazing kind of thing that we wake up into every morning. And we kind of go, we kind of miss it. We miss how amazing it is, because it's so compelling, and we just get into the drama of it and like, oh, I wish this thing wasn't the way it is. I wish this other thing wasn't the way it is. But in the same way, like that people, run into their house to watch Game of Thrones, when you pull back from that and go, what? It's so gory. Everyone's so kind of nasty. Even the good people end up getting corrupted. And it's, why would you want to rush home to see that? Why would you be excited about that? In a weird way, that's celebrating the totality, the drama of the whole thing. And I think it's great to do that with life. And that's not to say you're like, yay, look at all that violence, look at all that cruelty. I don't mean that. But, to honor your heart, what you're drawn to, what you love and what comes out of you, to honor all of that, but also to celebrate this amazing thing that we wake up into every day. That's brilliant, and to be celebrated.